You're wasting your life without even realizing it. Day after day, you're stuck between regrets of the past and anxieties about the future. You think you're living, but in reality, you're merely existing. You're controlled by things beyond your reach, ruled by emotions, and programmed by society to believe that happiness is always somewhere else, in success, in the future, in a moment that hasn't arrived yet. So you wait. But what if I told you that life only exists in this very moment? If you're not living now, you will never truly live. The Stoics understood this, and they mastered the art of owning the present. If you want to stop wasting time, take control of your mind, and fully experience every second, keep watching this video. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe and like if you're new here. It helps me keep bringing you more valuable content. 1. Trapped in the past. Are you truly living, or are you just unconsciously reliving old memories? Most people can't enjoy the present because they're haunted by the past, by mistakes, failures, losses, or even past glories that no longer exist. They carry it like a burden, making every day nothing more than a loop of reflection and regret. But what's the truth? The past is just a story you keep telling yourself, a series of events that can't be changed, yet you allow them to dictate your emotions and actions. The Stoics knew this well. They didn't deny the past, but they refused to be chained by it. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be one." You can either keep holding on to the past, or you can face reality and decide to move forward. No one can do that for you. The question is, what do you choose? 2. Worried about the future. What do you fear the most? Poverty? Failure? Abandonment? Most people can't live in the present because their minds are haunted by the future, a place that doesn't even exist. They imagine endless worst-case scenarios and torture themselves with fears that aren't real. But let's face reality. How many times in your life have your worries actually come true? And if they did, were they as terrifying as you imagined? The Stoics understood that the future is beyond control. They didn't live in fear, they lived in preparation. Epictetus taught, "We are not disturbed by things, but by the views we take of them." When you fear failure, you've already failed in your mind. When you fear loss, you've already shackled yourself to things that were never truly yours. The only solution? Focus on what you can do right now. Because every choice, every action you take in the present is what shapes your future. So will you keep worrying, or will you act? 3. Controlled by emotions and external forces. Are you truly in control of your mind, or are you just a puppet being pulled by emotions and circumstances? Most people react to life. Someone praises them, they're happy. Someone criticizes them, they're angry. When they face difficulties, they panic. When they achieve a small success, they become complacent. Their moods rise and fall like a rudderless ship, drifting with the unpredictable waves of life. The Stoics were different. They understood that emotions are natural reactions, but no one is forcing you to be ruled by them. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." When you feel anger, sadness, or anxiety, ask yourself, does this help me solve the problem? If not, why let it consume you? The world doesn't care about your emotions. It won't stop to wait for you to stabilize your feelings. You can either continue being controlled, or you can train yourself to master your own mind. The choice is yours. If this video made you think, hit like now. Comment below. How have you applied Stoicism in your life? Stoic success, unbreakable mindset, total control. 1. Accept what you cannot change. Can you control the weather? No. Can you control what others think about you? No, but you can control how you react to them. And that's the only thing that truly matters. The Stoics believed that happiness doesn't come from trying to control the world. It comes from accepting it as it is. Epictetus taught, "Don't hope that events will happen as you wish. Rather, wish that they happen as they do, and you will have peace." Most suffering comes from resisting reality. You want things to be different, you get angry when they don't go your way, and you sink into frustration when the world refuses to meet your expectations. But think of it this way. If something is beyond your control, why worry? If you can change it, Why not take action instead of complaining? That's the difference between a passive person and someone who owns their life. Will you keep wasting energy on things you can't change, or will you learn to accept and focus on what you can control? The choice is yours. 2. Focus on what you can control. How much of your day is spent worrying about things outside your control? Rising prices, economic downturns, people's opinions, none of these are up to you. But how you work, how you think, and how you respond to adversity, that's entirely in your hands. Stoic philosophy is built on one simple but powerful principle. Divide everything into two categories: what you can control and what you can't. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Your happiness depends on the quality of your thoughts. Be careful what you allow your mind to focus on. If you constantly obsess over things beyond your power, you're only creating self-inflicted suffering. Instead, put all your energy into what you can do right now. You can't control the rain, but you can bring an umbrella. You can't control how others treat you, but you can control how you respond." The difference between a Stoic and an average person? The average person complains about problems. The Stoic takes action within their power. Who do you want to be? 3. Limit desires and expectations. You don't suffer because of what you lack. You suffer because you crave things that were never yours to begin with. You want more wealth. You want validation from others. You want life to go exactly the way you planned. But the world doesn't work that way. The Stoics understood that desire is the root of suffering. The more you expect, the easier you are to disappoint. Epictetus said, "If you wish to be rich, do not add to your money, but subtract from your desires." Look at those who endlessly chase money, fame, or love. Are they truly happy? Or do they only grow more restless, never feeling like they have enough? Instead of seeking happiness in things outside your control, learn to appreciate what you already have. A simple, good meal, a day without illness, a great book. These are far more valuable than any distant, unattainable dream. The fewer expectations you have, the less disappointment you'll feel. The less you crave, the freer you become. 4. Practice memento mori. Remember that you will die. You will die, maybe in 50 years, maybe next week, maybe tomorrow. And that's exactly why you need to live fully in the present. Memento mori, remember that you will die, is one of the core Stoic principles. It's not meant to be fearful, but a reminder not to waste time on meaningless distractions. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do, say, and think." Yet most people delay their lives. I'll be happy when I'm rich. I'll chase my passion when I have time. But the truth? No one knows how much time they have left. And the real tragedy isn't death. It's spending your entire life never truly living. Ask yourself, if today were your last day, would you be satisfied with how you've lived? If the answer is no, it's time to change. 1. Meditate on control. Life is full of things beyond your reach. Yet instead of accepting this, most people torture themselves with pointless worries. The Stoics refuse to let their minds be dragged around by things they cannot change. They draw a clear line. What can I control? What can I control? The past is gone. The future hasn't arrived. The only thing in your hands is your actions right now. Every day, ask yourself, what can I do at this moment? If something can be changed, act. If it can't, let it go. This isn't indifference, it's wisdom. When you understand this, you'll stop feeling anxious or helpless. Instead, you'll stand firm in the present, in control of your own life. 2. Discipline in thought and action. Do you want to be free? Then first, you must master discipline. Real freedom doesn't come from doing whatever you want. It comes from having control over yourself. A Stoic doesn't let emotions dictate their actions. They don't get swept away by anger, fear, or laziness. They think before they react. They act with reason, not impulse. They don't wait for motivation. They create it through small, consistent actions. When you control your thoughts, you control your life. When you stop making excuses, you start making progress. Ask yourself, am I living by my values, or am I just being pushed around by circumstances? If the answer is no, then it's time to change. 3. Limit desires and expectations. You don't suffer because of what you lack. You suffer because you want too much. You want to be wealthy, you want to be famous, you want life to go exactly as you wish without obstacles. But the more you demand from life, the more you set yourself up for disappointment. The world doesn't owe you anything. The Stoics understood that happiness isn't about having more, it's about wanting less. When you accept that life isn't fair, that no one owes you success, that things won't always go your way, you suddenly feel lighter. Focus on what's within your reach rather than chasing what will never be enough. Because when you learn to be satisfied with what is, you'll realize that life has never been lacking. You just weren't looking properly. 4. Practice memento mori. Remember that you will die. Everything you have, your plans, your dreams, could end tomorrow. That may sound terrifying, but it's the truth. And instead of fearing it, the Stoics use it as a wake-up call. Memento mori, remember that you will die, isn't about pessimism. It's a reminder that time is limited. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do, say, and think." Yet most people postpone their lives. I'll be happy when I'm rich. I'll follow my passion when I have time. But the reality is, no one knows how much time they have left. And the scariest thing isn't death. It's spending your entire life never truly living. Ask yourself, if today were my last day, would I be satisfied with how I lived? If the answer is no, then stop waiting. Most people say they want to live in the present, but in reality, they're trapped, either haunted by the past or paralyzed by the future. They wait for the perfect moment to start enjoying life. But that moment never comes. The Stoics knew that life only happens right now, not yesterday, not tomorrow. If you don't learn to fully engage in this moment, you will never truly live. Living in the present doesn't mean giving up on planning or stopping your efforts. It means focusing all your energy on what you can do right now, instead of obsessing over what's outside your control. Every second is a choice. Will you let your mind be distracted and controlled by everything around you, or will you take control and fully own your life? The decision is yours. Thank you for being here. If you found this video helpful, subscribe, turn on notifications, and like this video. Don't forget to leave a comment so we can spread positivity together.